where the peaceful appearance hides the smoldering plots. In the shade, the strong quietly set traps. When the hunter becomes the prey, the confrontation is coming, full of surprises, suffocating, uncompromising. Savannah, the confrontations of the wild. The African savanna is a vast ecosystem with vast grasslands, dotted with low trees and bushes. It is home to many wild animals. The savanna is not only famous for its wild natural landscape, but also a fierce survival arena, where animals have to fight to find food, protect their territory and survive. The climate here is quite arid in the summer, but in the rainy season, the savanna becomes fresh, attracting a large number of migratory animals to find abundant food sources. The African wild dog is a medium-sized predator. With short fawn-black fur dotted with black and white, they easily blend into the savanna environment. They have large ears and a long muzzle which enhances their hearing and smelling ability, making them well suited for hunting in the wild. They live in packs with a tight social structure and high cooperation. Each member of the pack has a separate role in hunting and caring for the young. Adults are strong, durable, and can run continuously for many kilometers to pursue prey. They breed seasonally, giving birth to very large numbers of young, on average from 10 to 12. And the whole pack will take care of the young. African wild dogs often hunt over a large range, up to 15 kilometers. The prey of African wild dogs is usually medium-sized mammals that live in groups on large grasslands. As the sun began to fall on the grass, the hunting instincts kicked in. The pack of wild dogs shifted from alert to action. Before them, the impalas were busy grazing, completely unaware that the chase of life and death was about to begin. Impala is a compact antelope with a distinctive golden brown coat and white markings on its belly. Impalas live in herds. They eat grass and often move across large areas of savanna where there is plenty of food and water. Impalas are the ideal prey. They move silently through the low grass step by step, waiting for the right moment. The larger wild dogs stand still, holding their position, while the others move across the grasslands to control all directions. The impala did not realize the danger approaching. The pack of wild dogs had advanced. The wild dogs were focused on only one target. The chase began. Suddenly, a wild dog rushed out. The impala had speed, but the wild dogs had endurance. This was a marathon, not a sprint. It kept a moderate distance, slowly wearing down its prey. However, the prey fell. A fatal bite ended the chase. The wild dogs enjoyed their spoils. A moment later, the savannah returned to an uncanny silence. But in this land, silence is rarely a sign of safety. Like an open invitation. A savage laugh rang out from afar, piercing the quiet space of the savannah. It was the hyenas, the notorious predators of the wild. The hyenas appeared with a hunched gait looming among the tall grass. Their sloping backs and sturdy forelegs made them look like they were always in an ambush position. Their mottled grey-brown fur blended into the dry ground, making them almost invisible. Not missing the opportunity, they quickly advanced towards their prey with sharp, greedy eyes. The space became chaotic. The two sides rushed at each other. After a long period of constant fighting, with growls and tension to the point that no one could win immediately, the pack of wild dogs was too strong and fierce. The hyenas were defeated. They retreated in humiliation. When the battle for prey ended, they could now breathe a sigh of relief. All the tension was gone. Under the clear blue sky, the golden sunlight covered the vast savannah fields. Despite having just experienced a life-and-death situation, the pack of wild dogs still showed strong solidarity, not only in combat, but also in moments of relaxation. They ran around each other, jumping over each other like children playing, enjoying the freedom of the vast land. In the wild world, survival does not only depend on strength, but also on solidarity and team spirit. The afternoon sun gradually faded on the grassland. The wild dogs, although all their fatigue had been dispelled, now began to feel a change in the air. Their ears stood upright, their eyes looking into the distance. The silhouette of a lion was trudging through the bushes. The remaining sunlight shone on the lion's golden fur, creating a strong, powerful image. It was the king of the savannah, a powerful predator. The pack of wild dogs immediately recognized the danger. They are not the direct enemy of the lion, but its presence is a great threat. Silence reigns, leaving only the sound of light footsteps and changes in the breathing of the wild dogs. The lion's eyes always shine with calmness, but underneath is an uncompromising hunting instinct. The lion, with its patience and strength, has no intention of ignoring the wild dogs. The wild dogs quickly switched from a relaxed state to high alert. The adult dogs commanding the pack hastily led them in the opposite direction. But the lion soon noticed this movement. It quietly approached the prey in the grass. Suddenly, the lion pounced and bit accurately. The wild dog did not have time to resist, collapsing right in the lion's mouth. The wild dogs immediately retreated, running in panic. The howls rang out loudly. The lion gradually disappeared with the prey. Silence returned to the savannah, but this time it was the heavy silence of a ruler who had just claimed sovereignty at the cost of a life. While the tragedy of the wild dogs had just ended, in another corner of the savannah, a more silent hunt was also taking place. This was the world of those who lived in the dark. They were silent, cold, and no less terrifying in the art of hunting in this harsh land. Black mamba. The name makes both predators and humans wary. Although it does not possess a massive size or a suffocating constriction like a python, the black mamba is known as one of the most dangerous snakes in Africa and is also the longest venomous snake on the continent. With an average length of 2.5 to 3 meters, a slender body, graceful like a silvery black silk strip, it can glide gently through dry grass without making any noise. When moving, it is like a black smoke, weaving between cracks and crevices, disappearing before others can realize its presence. What makes the black mamba a true killer is its speed and extremely powerful venom. With the ability to rush at speeds of up to 20 km/h faster than the reaction of most prey, it can inject enough neurotoxin into the target to paralyze the respiratory system in just a few minutes. The black mamba's main food is small birds, lizards, rodents such as mice and squirrels. Today, its target is the mouse. Little does it know that just a few steps away, the black mamba is already lying in wait, motionless. Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, the black mamba delivers a precise bite to the mouse, then retreats. Unlike many other snakes that usually hold on to their prey, the black mamba retreats after the bite, letting the venom do the rest. The mouse struggles for a few seconds, then its whole body stiffens. Then the snake returns, slowly opening its jaws, swallowing its immobile prey. In the wild, the black mamba is an artist of the finish. Under the scorching sun, amidst the calm winds, animals continue to fight. From the united pack of wild dogs, the opportunistic hyenas, to the dominant lion and the silent black mamba, each creature contributes to creating a symphony. And that symphony will continue, with new confrontations, new tragedies and new victories, endlessly under the vast African sky. In this wild land, the winner is not always the strongest, but the one who knows how to wait, knows how to seize and dare to confront. That is the immutable law of the savannah. Either move forward or disappear. If you find this magical wild world as fascinating as we do, don't forget to follow the channel and share the video to discover more survival stories together. The savannah still has thousands of mysteries waiting for you to enter. Welcome to the Serengeti, where every being is a warrior. Serengeti, where every being is a warrior. The Serengeti, when the sun is still hesitant on the horizon. The whole plain is immersed in a dim, soft light, is also the time when life begins to stir. At the foot of an abandoned termite mound, small snouts cautiously peek out of the ground. A striped mongoose, greyish-brown fur, its back marked by regular black stripes, sniffs deeply at the early morning air, its ears pricked up like living radar. It looks around for a while, then makes a sound. From the cave, the whole herd begins to flow out like a small stream, flexible, alert. They are small, agile, but not to be underestimated. Each mongoose weighs only about 1 to 2 kgs and is less than knee-high. But instead of being solitary, they choose to live as a society, tight-knit, disciplined and organized. A group can number up to several dozen individuals, and each morning they march like a well-trained expedition squad. As the first light of the sun hits the ground, an older female, usually the leader, makes a series of short, sharp sounds. This is the signal for the group to spread out, moving in a semicircle through bushes, rocky mounds and low grass. The healthy adults move forward, scouting and hunting. The young and the mother go in the middle, protected. A few other individuals always keep high positions, mounds, tree branches, to act as sentinels. Their diet is extremely rich. Crickets, beetles, centipedes, spiders, bird eggs, anything that can be dug up from the dry ground is a potential meal. Mongooses don't just hunt insects or reptiles. Sometimes they target larger prey, such as hares. Once they catch their prey, mongooses hold it down with their front paws, then use their small but sharp teeth to bring it down. They've even been known to use rocks as tools to break eggs, a rare behavior in small animals, showing extraordinary dexterity and intelligence. But what really makes mongooses stand out is their boldness. Some species are willing to confront venomous snakes, including cobras. They don't rush in randomly, but surround the snake, dividing their attention, constantly approaching and retreating, waiting for the right moment to deliver a fatal bite. With extremely fast reflexes and a natural resistance to venom, they can finish off dangerous enemies with just one strike. Not just solitary hunters, mongooses are tactical warriors, acting in groups, under the invisible command of the group. And that is why, despite being small in the vast Serengeti, they are brave enough not to become the prey. One strayed from the flock. High above, the black shadow of the eagle circled, spreading its wings silently. In a split second, it swooped down like an arrow, its claws grabbing the small prey. The scream tore through the air. The whole flock heard it. Instead of retreating, they charged. More than a dozen mongooses screamed, jumped, and surrounded the ferocious bird of prey. Screams, shouts, claws scratching the ground and even the feet of the predator. Surprised and overwhelmed, the eagle was forced to let go of its prey. The chick fell, stunned, but still alive. They pulled back to the nest. Lightning, strong. A small flock chased away a predator in the sky. Because for mongooses, no one is left behind. The world of mongooses does not revolve only around survival, but is also built on sharing and nurturing. Beneath the hard soil of the termite mound, in a warm and safe space, a mother lies on her side, her soft furry belly exposed. The young, newly opened, weak and shivering, huddle in search of milk, curled up like tiny living masses. But the special thing is, they are not just the children of one mother. In the colony, many females give birth at the same time, a clever evolutionary strategy. By giving birth at the same time, the children are not alone, but grow up in large numbers where risks are shared and survival has a higher chance. All mothers raise them together, regardless of bloodline. Those who have not given birth or have been mothers will play the role of wet nurse, taking turns caring for, feeding, and guarding. The whole colony raises, teaches, and loves them together. From finding prey, escaping, to sophisticated alarm sounds, every skill is passed down as a collective heritage. For mongooses, intelligence lies not in the individual, but in the community. They communicate through a complex series of sounds. Each type of enemy, each situation has its own call. It is a language that is not verbal, but surprisingly precise and effective. And then, as the sunlight gradually changed from pale yellow to bright white, the mongoose continued its journey, crossing the dry, brittle grass and the sluggish, rolling dust. In the distance, the ground shook slightly with heavy rhythms. Another creature was approaching. Short, stocky, its long snout touching the ground, an African warty pig was digging for roots in the cracked ground. Its curved tusks pushed the grass aside. Its small but bright eyes were always wary. A creature that seemed clumsy, but was extremely alert. The mongoose recognized it from afar, not a predator, but an ally. A few approached, climbing onto the pig's back skillfully and without hesitation. It seemed playful, but this was a strange symbiotic relationship that had existed for a long time in this dry savanna. The mongoose helps the warthog catch parasites, while the warthog's back becomes an ideal observation point for the mongoose to guard against predators. Both do not need words, just a silent trust forged over time. Sometimes it looks like a spa in the wild, but for the mongoose, relaxation never means letting down one's guard. Because with just one sudden roll, hundreds of kilograms of muscle flesh will fall down like a boulder collapsing a cave entrance, and a small mongoose can be crushed in an instant. They know that well. So even if they jump on the back of their companion, the mongoose always keeps enough distance to escape, always in a position to spring out like a spring, if necessary. In the Serengeti, even friendship requires survival instinct. And if the mongoose is a smart, agile warrior, the warthog is a quiet, resilient survivor, as stubborn as the cracked earth beneath its feet. The The warthog's body looks a bit rough. Sparse hair, a mane along the back that stands up when agitated, two curved fangs protruding from the lips, curling up like blades. But don't let the rough appearance fool you. Hidden under the rough skin is a formidable defense system. Those sharp fangs are not just for intimidation. When cornered, the warthog is ready to turn around and confront, strong and uncompromising. They usually live alone or in small groups, a mother leading her cubs, quietly foraging along dry valleys, low forest edges, or around shallow water. They dig the ground with their snouts, using their sturdy front legs to dig up roots, tubers, weeds, anything soft enough to chew. Sometimes they also eat carrion or dung. The wise ones are not picky, just need to survive. When the rainy season comes, the female separates from the herd, retreating to an abandoned den to give birth, usually 2 to 6 at a time. For the first few weeks she hardly leaves the den, only sneaking out when absolutely necessary. The young are nursed, sleeping deep in the dark, and growing up with quiet patience. They are not coaxed, but learn how to survive from the first lessons, scratching the ground, being alert and running when necessary. Warthogs do not hunt. But that does not mean they are weak. When pursued, they charge at incredible speeds, tails erect like antennas, winding through the bushes to shake off their pursuers. When they cannot escape, they retreat back into their dens, heads turned, fangs pointed like weapons waiting. Lions, leopards, hyenas all know that cornered warthogs are a dangerous opponent. Their dens are usually abandoned burrows of aardvarks or porcupines, sometimes even self-dug tunnels. During the day they go out to forage. At night the herd retreats into their burrows, warm, private and small enough to make predators hesitate. They are not noisy, do not hunt, do not dominate large herds. But they are patient, cautious and very difficult to eliminate from the game. However, no matter how stubborn, warthogs are not out of the hunt and are hunted. Their enemies are present in every ecological layer. Hyenas in packs, lions lurking in the high bush, and leopards hiding in the low branches. Each has its own tactics, its own approach, but they all target the same target, the young, slow or careless individuals. them, there is a hunter who is not noisy, not aggressive, but dangerous because of his patience and deadly speed. A slender shadow flickered behind the acacia grass, moving as lightly as the wind, appearing for only a moment, and then disappearing again. Eyes squinted in the sunlight. Front legs lifted as if not touching the ground, each step calculated down to each breath. Cheetah. The fastest predator on the planet and a lone artist of the savannah. Its eyes locked on the young warthog lagging behind its mother. A second later, it charged. A golden whirlwind streaked across the savannah. The warthog fled in panic. The mother turned, howling. Too late. The cheetah accelerated like lightning, pouncing, knocking down, biting straight into its prey. Just a few seconds. All movement stopped. The cub lay motionless, its legs twitching one last time. The cheetah did not roar, did not hiss, it just crouched down, quietly beginning its meal. On the savannah, silence is sometimes the most painful cry. Speed does not create drama. Speed is drama. On the savannah of the Serengeti, no one knows that better than the cheetah. In a world where the strongest are not necessarily the ones who survive, the cheetah is the fastest. So fast that the human eye cannot keep up, so fast that the prey does not even realize that they are the target. Its body is born for speed, slim, long, flexible muscles, tail like a rudder, broad chest to keep steady breathing when accelerating. Eyes are surrounded by two black lines extending from the corners to the lips, like speed tears, helping to reduce glare when hunting at noon. Unlike its large relatives such as lions or leopards, the cheetah does not roar. It only hisses softly or makes sounds that are almost like birds, soft, light, and lonely. That graceful body is a sophisticated design for short-term speed. In just a few seconds it can reach more than 100 km/h, but because of that, each hunt is a gamble. If it misses, it has to lie down, recover its heart rate, and let the prey escape in the distant bushes. The cheetah hunts during the day. The light allows it to observe from a distance, select weak prey, and approach secretly. One lunge, one precise pounce. And that's it. The prey is mainly small antelopes, hares, large birds, and sometimes young warthogs, as in the scene just above. But the cheetah also faces risks. It is vulnerable to being robbed. Lions, hyenas, even vultures, all can wait for it to make a successful kill and then appear like hungry ghosts. It is not strong enough to keep the meal. Although it is a hunter, the cheetah is still fragile. When the time comes to breed, the female signals with her scent. Cheetahs do not live in groups, except for a few male siblings who live together. The male comes, mates, and then leaves. The rest is all up to the mother. After more than 90 days of pregnancy, it gives birth to 2 to 6 cubs, small, blind, and completely dependent. They are hidden well in the bushes, moving constantly to avoid detection. Every cry, every movement can alert predators. The mortality rate is high. In some places, only 1 in 10 cubs survive to adulthood. But the mother cheetah still patiently teaches her cubs, one by one, how to crawl low, how to listen to the wind, how to wait. The grasslands are quiet. A lesson begins. The mother cheetah leads her cubs silently across the burnt yellow grass. Ahead, a young impala is grazing a few dozen meters away from the herd, just wide enough to become a target. The mother lies low, her eyes locked on the prey. The 3 cubs follow closely behind, not fast enough to hunt, but big enough to learn. A deep breath. Then everything explodes. The mother cheetah leaps forward like a bolt of lightning. The speed cuts through the wind, the prey lies motionless under her claws. The cubs charged. They bit, clawed, tore, confused but eager. Not because of hunger, but because of their first taste of blood. The hunt was over. The cheetah did not rule the savannah. It was not a king, it was not a bandit. It was a speed artist living by silence, precision, and a little luck. And in a land where every step could lead to death, the cheetah survived by walking 1 pace faster than death. In the vast Serengeti, it is not the strongest that survives. It is the one who waits, who adapts, who sticks together. From a small pack of mongooses, a sullen warthog, to the golden shadow of the cheetah, each creature writes its own story of survival. And that is the true beauty of nature. Fierce, imperfect, but never stops living.